It's time for your weekly dose of politics,
snark, and heavy metal music.
All rise, motherfucker.
For your hosts, Brandon
And Matt.
I belong.
Performer hasn't been provided with a script. As a matter of fact, I have been permitted to choose my own words and discuss my own ideas regarding the choice that we face in the next few weeks. I have spent most of my life as a Democrat. I recently have seen fit to follow another course.
The defense policy of the United States is based on a simple premise. The United States does not start fights. We will never be an aggressor.
As for the peace that we would preserve, I wonder who among us would like to approach the wife or mother whose husband or son has died in South Vietnam and ask them if they think this is a peace that should be maintained indefinitely. There can be no real peace while one American is dying someplace in the world for the rest of us. We're at war with the most dangerous enemy that has ever faced mankind in his long climb from the swamp to the stars. And it's been said if we lose that war, and in so doing lose this way of freedom of ours, history will record with the greatest astonishment that those who had the most to lose did the least to prevent its happening. Well, I think it's time we ask ourselves if we still know the freedoms that were intended for us by the Founding Fathers.
Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. You and I must protect and preserve freedom here, or it will not be passed on to our children, and it will disappear everywhere in the world.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. And this idea that government is beholden to the people, that it has no other source of power except the sovereign people, is still the newest and the most unique idea in all the long history of man's relation to man. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves. Regardless of their sincerity, their humanitarian motives, those who would trade our freedom for security have embarked on this downward course. They knew that governments don't control things. A government can't control the economy without controlling people. And they know when a government sets out to do that, it must use force and coercion to achieve its purpose.
We, the people. We, the people, tell the government what to do. It doesn't tell us. We, the people, are the driver. The government is the car. Almost all the world's constitutions are documents in which governments tell the people what their privileges are. Our Constitution is a document in which we, the people, tell the government what it is allowed to do.
This administration in Washington has betrayed the working men and women of this country.
I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts.
A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when President of the United States loses his.
Someday, when the time comes to deliver the final ultimatum, our surrender will be voluntary, because by that time, we will have been weakened from within spiritually, morally, and economically. The martyrs of history were not fools. Where then is the road to peace? Well, it's a simple answer after all. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny. We'll preserve for our children this, the last best hope of man on earth, or we'll sentence them to take the last step into 1,000 years of darkness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the machine. I am Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And I'm pissed off.
You too?
Just slightly. Yeah, it's...
things are getting out of hand.
Ever so slightly. Yeah, it's getting ugly, and we'll be getting to that. I mean, it's getting ugly all over. I'm talking, every inch of our lives right now is being affected.
Yeah.
And let's just say there's going to be some people out there that aren't going to like the reprisal. In fact, 3 of them didn't like it at all, did they? We'll get to that later, though. And we'll get to the, why we're wearing these wonderful, beautiful shirts, too.
Well, I think with everything that's been going on, I think it's probably best that we start off with a shot.
Yeah, you're going to have, we're going to have to do that. Give me a moment.
Alrighty.
Well, I'm if anybody doesn't know anything about ears, nose, and throat, when you do an eye drop, sometimes if it has medicine in it, you taste it.
Yeah.
So I took a drink of that, and all I could taste is the. That's another reason why I'm pissed off. By the way, the glasses are kind of like moral support at this point, until I get new ones. All right. I'm just going to say to actual freedom and to know what you stand for.
Amen.
Oh, I miss that stuff so much. Been a little while since we've had our friend the Kraken there.
It's been a while.
I love it, though. Oh, yes, that was a bit warm. I'm digging it. Fucking makes my dick hard, I'll be honest with you. Well, yeah.
Yes.
I said that out loud, didn't I?
Yes. Yes, Sean, you is late.
He's always late.
He just popped in. He goes,
Of course, there's other
late.
people late tonight, too. There's people going to be late for the next birthday. But
Sean's like, ain't much to talk about tonight.
I didn't say that one out loud either, did I? Did I really? I mean, okay, I did. Mm-hmm. Matt's looking at me like, dude, you done fucked up. All right, it's normal. It happens, To error is human, apparently. And speaking of errors, as soon as I get it loaded up here, because I was sidetracked.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the other reason why I was plugging in the laptop.
Yeah, we don't want the laptop to die.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, don't worry about it. You got shit you're doing.
Yeah, I was losing. Oh, we're going to. Let's get this fucking party started because tonight I am pissed off. This man is pissed off, and if you're not pissed off,
You should be.
something's fucking wrong with you.
Yeah.
And we got a show for you today. And we're going to start right off with a small 3-minute clip from the wonderful and illustrious Drunken Nancy. Aunt Nancy. What can we not say about this woman? Maybe that she's not sincere and that she's not drinking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's about all we can say. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this started because there's going to be some commentary on this shit.
I myself, just don't tell anybody I told you this, especially don't tell Joe Biden. I don't think that there should be any debates. Listen to the scientist. The scientists give you the best guidance on how to interact with others. And social distancing is a very important part of it. If the scientists say in a particular area...
You might want to hope that I'm socially distancing. Because it might not end well.
That there are...
Yes, Matt?
I was going to say, well, we're supposed to listen to the scientists, but they don't know when we're supposed to wear a mask.
if we're supposed to wear one, or how what kind is supposed to be, or we talked about that, about doing the river dance.
And now they're saying that like kids under 5 shouldn't be wearing one.
Yeah, they said healthy people shouldn't be wearing one, and they're like, oh no, now you should.
And then
they don't know what the fuck is going on.
Fauci was like, you should be wearing a face shield now, and
okay,
you got to summon rain, and
we have a ginger dickhead in the chat room. yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Love you too. All right, asshole. This is what he says. So, holy shit, I can see my reflection in that head of yours.
Oh, Jesus.
Fucking douche. Well, I forgot my powder, okay?
He was crossing the street when I was coming home.
And you didn't run him over?
Yeah, I tried. He got across too fast.
Well, damn it. All right, let's keep going here. We got to deal with Pelosi before we get into the really juicy shit tonight. So,
there's well below 1% incidence over a period of time, then there may be a judgment made for that region. But yeah, we all miss the enthusiasm of people with their challenges and their questions and the rest. Since you asked about
what she's talking about is people sitting in the press conferences and asking questions. Mm-hmm. She doesn't miss any of that. They're fucking enjoying it, and that's the reason for this clip to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry the audio is so low. We don't know why it is, but let's go ahead.
That I myself just don't tell anybody I told you this. Especially don't tell Joe Biden. I don't think that there should be any debates. I do not think that the President of the United States has comported himself in a way that anybody should, and that has any association.
She's drunk again.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, for those of you who don't know, what is the purpose, Matt, of the debates to begin with?
You get to know your candidate a little bit better and find out what it is they're wanting to bring to the table.
Oh, so that's what that's for.
Yeah.
Fuck, I didn't know, because Biden don't want to show up to any of them. Actually, they just don't want him to show up to any of them because he's going to get his ass handed to him. But, Pelosi is the first one for censorship. We know that before. She was the one that actually helped come up with the free speech zones and other stuff during the wonderful Obama administration. This is just a start. I mean, let's keep going.
Listener Sean says she doesn't think there should be debates like he doesn't rate.
No, there shouldn't be debates because Biden will be exposed for the senile child sniffer he is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go.
With truth, evidence, data, and facts.
Okay, the three things that the stuff that you just listed is something that you guys don't seem to like, and that's why you are against the president in the first place. You're fighting the change in the fucking guard, kicking and screaming. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
Because anytime you produce just how well he's doing and how well he has been keeping up with his campaign promises and whatnot, they lose their minds. Oh, no, it's not right. It's not really, because I can prove it. I actually do I love it when people tell me I do research. I'm like, really? You go over to CNN and read a fucking article. I go directly to the whitehouse.gov website. I go to, the FBI website and several other places to get all my statistical information, including, with the COVIDs, the CDC, and everything else. That's actual research. And then I research what other countries are doing and how it's working and if it's not working at all. And, and that's just the COVID part. That's not even the rest of it. That's how you get actual information. I had somebody tell me that Cornell University, no shit, was a right-wing organization, and I shouldn't use any of their information. They kind of wrote the law, book of law.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where we're headed, and this is where we're headed. All right, let's go. Oh, wait. Somebody say something? Because I see a...
Oh, Sean says primary sources.
Yeah, instead of secondary. Well, and Sean, you've been with the show long enough to know that anytime we do a story, we check the facts and we constantly look for more information on it to make sure that we're giving you the right information, so we're not just being, one of those, half-assed conspiracy theory shows of like, well, I saw it on one article throughout the entire World Wide Web, so it's got to be true. It was on Facebook, man. We don't do that shit. We do our our research, and we do what we can. In other words, we educated. But let's keep going.
I wouldn't legitimize a conversation with him, nor a debate in terms of the presidency of the United States.
So the blind hatred in her is unreal, is it not?
Yeah. Very.
I mean, seriously, she's just
one crazy ass bitch.
All right, let's keep going.
Now, I know that the Biden campaign thinks in a different way about this, but
no, the Biden campaign don't think at all. That's why they've been keeping Biden in the basement. In fact, it's ironic that when they did the DNC, it looked like it was in a fucking basement.
Yeah.
Because it was probably the spot where they kept Biden so he wouldn't come out and say stupid stuff or sniff people. Am I wrong about this?
I agree, yeah.
Because anytime he comes out of the woodwork and says something, it's always a gaffe.
Mm-hmm.
I have never found an intellectual comment from him in probably the last 10 years. At least, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel bad for the man. I really do, because the Democratic frontrunner is, in fact, suffering from dementia. If you watch, I said I wasn't going to mention the DNC or the RNC or anything else like that. I got to now. Because if you actually watch the video of him and his acceptance and stuff like that in the DNC, he looks scared. He looks lost. He does not know what the fuck is going on. When the streamers fell, he freaked out. That's signs of dementia. The guy is not here. And, he's not here. He did. All right, let's go.
I thought what he did in the 2016 was disgraceful, stalking Hillary Clinton like that. I was disappointed that the press didn't say, go back to your station.
They were both walking around the stage, and actually it was her that approached him first.
Right, yeah.
It's funny how you forget things like that. I mean, of course, with all that vodka you've been drinking.
You're not here. You don't own this stage. You have your own podium. She has hers. So I think that he'll probably act in a way that is beneath the dignity of the presidency. He does that every day. But I think he will also...
So what is the dignity of the presidency? Is it not standing up for the people and, that sort of thing? Is it not using your voice?
I mean, I would think it would.
Because he's not a parrot with their problem, with the way they are, which is basically against the status quo.
Yeah.
Then she has a problem with it. All right.
Belittle what the debates are supposed to be about. And they're not to be about the skullduggery on the part of somebody who has no respect for the office he holds, much less the democratic process. Why else would he try to undermine the elections in the manner in which he is doing? So if Joe Biden asked you what I thought about it, I don't think that he should dignify that conversation.
So again, she's playing the presidential candidate instead of Biden and telling him what he should do.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's not advising him. She's telling him. All right, let's keep going.
With Donald Trump, you ask them any questions, both of them. Just take their own stage for any number of conversations about any subjects. Hold them accountable. What are they proposing? What is their vision? What is their knowledge? How are we going to get it done? How do they connect with the American people? Let that be a conversation with the American people.
Oh, it will be at the ballot box, but it's going to have to be on the debate stage too, because that's actually a kind of a rite of passage, and it has to be done so people know what they're up against. Which we already talked about, Mr. Lovely, L'Oreal shampoo fan. We already talked about him and his wonderful list of anti-Second Amendment and anti-First Amendment the stuff that's actually on his website.
Yeah.
And there's no denying it. Yeah, there's absolutely no denying it because it's there. It's out there for you to see. You can look at it yourself. We got 8 seconds left. Should we even let her finish?
Well, I was going to say, I like how Biden has not mentioned anything about the riots going on.
Yeah.
He's been very silent about that.
Instead of condemning them or anything else. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Not an exercise in skullduggery. Thank you all very much.
That is all what the campaign was. That is all what Hillary had actually did. Yeah, riots. What riots? Absolutely.
Oh, I'm sorry. Protest.
Yeah, peaceful protest. Or at least that's what she would say. I mean, she is just...
You cock-juggling thunder cunt!
That is not how the system works. We will have debates. We will expose Biden for what he is, which is a progressive communist who is suffering from dementia. This is going to fucking happen, lady. Whether you like it or not, you don't run the show, okay? Let me remind you who actually runs the show, and it sure as fuck isn't the government. Sitting right here, bitch. Oh, I'm waiting here. Oh, you're calling her names. You're being mean. Fuck that woman, okay? Fuck her. I'm done being nice. I told you tonight's show was going to be full of asshole, and it's...
Full of asshole.
Full of asshole. I'm talking, you're probably going to see Starfish right on the fucking screen because I'm going to show you all bit of it. No, that's not really. Matt likes to see it, though.
No, she's been in office way too damn long. She's done nothing but destroy this country along with other people.
Biden's been in near 50 fucking years.
It shows.
And the only thing that he has done, and I love it when especially people from the BLM say he's our guy. He's the only one that's good. Okay, one, you don't know about the Democratic Party history. They're still using the same shit today. And the fact that the man wrote the laws for mass incarceration. The stuff that you're against. You're voting for.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm having a good fucking time here.
I know listener Sean was like, what will the debate really look like?
Well, you know, since he has this compulsion to sniff things, are they going to have like different, I don't know, wigs underneath there where he can lean down and take a sniff? I just wonder that.
No, it'll be under his podium. He'll be like during his break, he'll lean down.
Man, that's L'Oreal. That's like that Garnier shit. Yes.
The wig's washed with different shampoo.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be different flavors so you can keep him fucking occupied.
Listen, Angela just piped on.
We have a listener, Angela?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry. For some reason...
For some reason, it didn't pop up on your end.
Yeah, dude, it's not showing me shit. I seriously, I have to apologize to anybody else who's out there because it's not cycling. Go ahead.
Sean's like sniffing station.
Yeah, dude, it's not showing it.
Yeah, as I say, there's already there's two that's popped up.
Now
maybe it had to reload.
By the way, you know, like I said, she's obviously, you know, completely drunk as usual. Mm-hmm. I mean, didn't she even sponsor a brand of liquor at one point?
Yeah, I think she has her own vodka brand.
Does she now?
I believe so.
I wonder if we do. Yeah. I think we have the original commercial for that.
I think so.
This is Adam, Pencil Neck Shift, introducing to you Bullshit Vodka.
It'll get you drunk.
Off of that impeachment sham.
Smell like hot, sick ass and a dead carcass.
It may stink, but it gets the job done. Ask Aunt Nancy.
First, pound the table, walk out the door. What? Next time, have my say. And now this time, another temper tantrum again.
See what I mean? She's shift-faced. So if you're an easily manipulated leftist that only believes what we tell you, try Bullshit Vodka. 0% proof.
It's been a while since I heard that.
I just saw it fitting. I just felt it.
Yeah.
Know? Well, the drink of the night is not the machine, okay? It's missing some key ingredients.
Yeah, it's just missing one key ingredient.
We're poor folk.
Yeah,
we didn't have any apple brandy.
The liquor store has got the big-ass bottle of Kraken now.
Really?
Yes. They have...
I want to fuck it.
Two rows of these, and then one row of the big bottles.
Mmm. Tasty. Yeah, baby.
I was excited when I went in there. I was like, "Oh, they got the big bottles."
Yeah, they do. That's amazing. Now let's get back to what we were talking about, especially with listener Chris. If you would like, when I go on my annual trip out of state, I'm going to get the very exclusive apple brandy that we are out of. We love that shit.
Yeah, it's really good.
And they have corn whiskey, rye whiskey, wine. You know, I mean, they started out as they actually started out as a distillery like 100 fucking years ago. Not joking. And they started the wine company. They shut down the distillery.
Mm-hmm.
Their wine, I'm not joking, is probably second to none. It's my favorite wine. It's my wife's favorite wine. Everybody I've ever had taste the wine can't find a single flavor that they make that isn't amazing.
Nice.
And when I went up there and found out they refired the distillery up, I went up there and did some tasting, and I came home with one single bottle of the stuff, and me and Matt crushed that shit in a week and a half?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good.
It's probably the best that we've ever had, really.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that, Chris, and one of these days you can come back here and get shift-faced with us.
Shift-faced, yes.
See how I did that? Everybody thinks we're alcoholics.
Yeah, I know.
This is all we drink, man. All right, speaking of which, get another shot out. But I'm going to keep talking about Nancy. Nancy apparently is still on air, and she is a mental midget. I know listener Sean was trying to tell me some stuff about it, but I honestly, during show prep, did not have the time to really listen to any of it, but I kind of hit the highlights. And she literally is, I mean, just absolutely unhinged. She hates the president, which is obvious. But she's talking about how he's trying to undermine the democracy, which, by the way, it's not a democracy. It is a fucking republic.
Yep.
We are a republic. Look up the difference between republic and democracy. You will thank me for it later. I could read it to you, but I think sometimes you guys need to do your own research.
You should have learned this in school, though.
Absolutely.
I mean...
But with the other shit that they're trying to,
push in. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later, too. Because that's really going to come up.
Yeah.
But she's so ingrained with this, he's trying to undermine the election. I'm like, how? By stopping by saying mail-in voting is bad because it is absolutely just filled with fraud, and not just on the multiple ballot level, but also on the fact that the post office, their union, endorses Joe Biden. So who in the fuck is going to want to send their ballot in? This, you get where I'm going with this.
It makes it way too easy for... Well, it's easy enough for voter mail fraud to happen anyway.
Yeah, even a buddy of mine in Chicago just proved that. I mean, 100%, no shit. Got 7 ballots in the mail.
Yeah.
He's like, seriously, this is happening. And he showed me the photos. I'm like, dude, so it's real? He goes, oh, yeah, it's real. He's like, I got 7 of them here. I'm like, that's just wild. I mean, the fact that that's actually literally what happens is crazy.
Yeah. And the people that are voting for Biden, they don't give a shit about voter fraud as long as Biden gets in office. But the flip side to that is if there is voter fraud, or if Biden loses, they're going to claim that there is voter fraud.
Yeah, it's like I said, the river dance.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what the river dance is, I'm going to make Matt do it because I can't do it.
I ain't doing the river dance.
You should do the river dance.
No.
On camera.
No, thank you.
You're doing the river dance on camera so everybody knows what the river dance is.
No, thank you.
I'll even point the camera down so you can do the... Anyhow, obviously, with the way things are going, and yes, I understand your rat corn pop is doing absolutely fine. I'm glad that you named him that, actually. And is he saying anything else? Is Angela saying anything else? Is anybody saying anything else? Because I cannot see.
No, nothing else has popped up.
That's just bizarre that it's not cycling through.
Yeah.
For me.
What I think of is maybe it glitched.
Well, and just the thing is, I can smell the hate. I can. Kind of like Biden sniffing a child. I can smell the hate in you. So, we'll be right back. We're gonna take a break. What the fuck are you laughing about?
I'm thinking, I was like, that just reminds me of Emperor Palpatine. I can smell the hate inside you.
Holy shit, I did do the Palpatine, didn't I? All right, disregard that last comment. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.
Because I'm a crazy beast and I always make it backstage.
You motherfuckers having a good time!
What you listening to?
The Machine Radio Show.
What did you say? I didn't stutter.
You just blew my mind.
You're welcome.
Enjoy the show. And we have returned. And now, let's get down to business. But before we do, what's this one going to be for? I picked the last one. It's his turn.
Free Kyle.
Free Kyle who?
Free Kyle. Free Kyle Rittenhouse.
Yes. Free Kyle Rittenhouse. And we'll explain all about that after we explain what happened in the first place.
Yeah.
So let's get started.
Mm-hmm. Free Kyle.
Wow. You got to admit the stuff does have a bite to it.
It does, a little bit.
But it's so fucking tasty. All right. So, obviously, people know about the incident in Kenosha, which, by the way, was a justified shooting.
Yes.
Mr. Blake had reached in against command, walked away from an officer with a knife in his hand, walked to his vehicle, opened the door, reached underneath his seat for a firearm, and got blasted in the back.
And you can make that all out on video. I mean, there was new video that come out where there was a tussle with police, and then he walked around to the car, and this is how I've explained it to everybody. You can watch his leg when he gets in. You can tell he's leaning over. I don't know about anybody else, but my fat ass, when I get in a car, I don't lean all the way over to the passenger seat to get in.
Right.
Unless I'm reaching for something.
And by the way, he did this knowingly and willingly and did it with his children in the vehicle.
Yeah.
So he's no fucking saint, okay? He's absolutely not. I don't give a shit if it makes you mad because I'm not here for your fucking feelings anyway. You're going to hear that a lot tonight, honestly, because I said both sides are going to be pissed at me and I do not care.
And you know the difference about this? He didn't fucking die. Yeah, the man may be paralyzed, and it may be a temporary paralyzation, but he's still alive. Yeah. He's still alive.
Yeah, but here's the thing: that you should be thanking the officer for judicious marksmanship because he made sure that all of them went to him.
Yeah, I know.
And I know that's saying it in a rough way, but it's absolutely true because they didn't just open fire on the vehicle because there was other occupants inside. They took care of the threat and the threat alone.
Yeah,
and he was a threat.
Yeah, he was.
He did this to himself. This was his own doing, okay? Absolutely his own doing. And, of course, immediately the heads of cabbage that are running around in the world, and I'm talking about the Antifa-tards and the fucking BLM, and yes, I'm going to say it that way, and you're going to hate me for it, and I don't care. Again, I'm going to say I'm not here for your feelings because I'm probably going to hurt them tonight if you have any. In typical fashion of the... progressive communists, what was the first thing that they did? What did they do? Oh, they started rioting and looting, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they started stealing shit and burning down structures because nothing says I'm oppressed. Nothing says that this was wrong.
I'm protesting for this guy's life.
Yeah, and listen to me, like burning shit down and stealing shit from people. But of course, the BLM in Chicago was saying, well, that's just reparations.
No.
Most of these folks are white. So what do they need reparations?
Yeah, here's the thing about reparations, okay?
Okay, let's go.
I'm going to first off say, fuck your reparations. Every race in this world has owned slaves or traded slaves, including those in Africa.
That's where it started. And guess what? It's still thriving to this day.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to claim reparations, then I want my reparations. You owe me. Yeah, you owe Whitey.
Yeah, just remember, I'm Native American. So you all owe me. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right. So, this whole situation went down.
Mm-hmm.
And after a vigorous night of fucking up a city, one young man, and I say young man because he is a young man.
He is young, yes.
Decided to go help with the cleanup. And he was smart enough to take his rifle with him for his own protection and the protection of the business he was helping.
Yeah.
His name was Kyle Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
The whole day before any of this happened, he was cleaning up debris and scrubbing BLM and Antifa, the ACAB or whatever the fuck that is. That spray paint shit all off the place. He was scrubbing it all off. He was doing good, and he was protecting the businesses. So, private property, right?
Which a lot of people were doing the same thing. There was a lot of people protecting businesses that night.
Yeah, there were some roofed-up Koreans for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody actually told me that calling them rooftop Koreans was racist. I am dead serious. And by the way, you'd be surprised how much doxing and hate mail I've gotten lately. The only difference is I could give a fuck.
Yeah.
I am self-employed. I do my own thing, and quite frankly, if you show up at my place, you're going to be, let's just say, biting off more than you can chew. But let's keep going. As you were, carry on.
Okay, so he was cleaning up, and then night fell, and then the rioting started again, and the looting, and the burning down of places. And not quite knowing what happened, for some reason, Kyle is removed from his property. Well, I guess you could say he had to evacuate. That's how I'll put it. He had to leave for his own safety. And while he's leaving, they're chasing him because they know that he is not one of them. And then the first attack happens. Wonderful gentlemen decide to throw a lit Molotov at him.
Oh. You don't say. I mean, you mean there was actual violence?
Yeah.
Because
actual
these
violence.
are just peaceful protesters.
I know, right?
They're the greatest thing that ever happened. Democracy in action. Get the hands up in the air for the communists. Because all they were doing was just talking out, and they're like, it's a protest. It wasn't a protest.
No.
It was a violent action.
It wasn't a protest from the beginning. So Kyle, in return, defended himself. I'm not sure if this first BLM activist thought he was playing Fortnite and thought he was going to respawn, but he decided to catch that bullet with his head. He did not respawn.
No, he didn't. But see, I've seen the video from 8 different angles. I am an accomplished target shooter, and I don't mean just, I'm going to go to the farm and shoot some rounds. No, I'm actually a well-trained shooter. So I know, especially in the situation that this kid was in, okay, I've taken those scenarios. I know what this is. I've watched, like I said, all eight different friggin' angles, and there was no reason that this kid should have been in the situation that he was in.
Right.
And I'm telling you, one person said, "Well, he was assaulting people. He was shooting for." No, he was not shooting before. Actually, if you listen to the video, that's a 9mm, most specifically a Glock 19, because I know that sound. I know the difference between an AR and an AR or an M16 or anything else like that versus a fucking 9mm. I know that sound very well, actually.
I'll be honest with you. I
by all
believe
means.
that they were chasing him because they wanted his shit. They wanted everything he had on him.
Probably. And listener Sean is fired up, and let's get him.
Listener Sean says, from my view, the mob peeled off a smaller, weaker member from the group protecting property. Then they start throwing firebombs, and he lit that guy up. The then shows he does try to check up on the victim and then calls 911. And this is correct because he did have his PPE on, his gloves.
Yes.
He did check the man and he did call. He was attempting to call 911. The other videos show the shooting of a mob action, and, well, it's clear to me he was in a self-defensive posture.
Absolutely, but he was still, people need to understand what combat carry and self-defense carry is, because they're actually one and the same. You don't leave your barrel to the ground if you're trying to keep your life safe. If you're trying to leave an area and you're gonna fucking have that barrel up. I'm sorry. That's just how it is.
Your life first.
Yeah. It's either you or them. And I'll tell you what, if I was in that situation, it sure as fucking gonna be me. I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. So if I gotta fuck your shit up, if I gotta split your grape open, sorry about your luck. You picked the wrong motherfucker today. Am I wrong?
No, you're not.
It's self-preservation.
Yeah. And let it be known that Mr. Dome Catcher was a registered sex offender.
I shouldn't be laughing, but damn it, that was funny.
He was a sex offender. So I guess you can say he died what he enjoyed doing, chasing
minors.
So...
We're going to hell for that.
You damn right we are.
All right, let's keep going.
So while he's trying to assist this man, what you hear in the video, in the audio part of it, is get him. Get him now. So they all merge on him again, and he peels out. So he's not even able to call 911. And of course, I was talking about, we talked about this on the phone about compressing head wounds. I'm pretty sure they killed him. I'm pretty sure his own allies killed him.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of a little bit steeped in medical procedures because I have to be my own medic in case something happens. This would be like doing chest compressions on someone with a sucking chest wound.
Chest wound, yeah.
You don't ever grab somebody by their fucking skull and smash a t-shirt against it and squeeze hard when they've been shot, because it has a tendency to fracture your skull. So even if the bullet missed his brain, which it kind of probably did because he's a little on the empty-headed side, I don't give a fuck if that hurts your feelings or not. It's true. You are exacerbating the problem. You are crushing his skull against his brain, so therefore you could be the one actually causing his death.
Yeah, which I believe there's video where they actually picked him up and moved him, and there's still somebody with a t-shirt crushing his head, pressing it as hard as they could onto the head. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they killed him.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. So even if the kid actually just grazed him and cracked his skull, they are liable for his death.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep going.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Kyle leaves the scene because they're all charging after him again. I don't know where they think it's a good idea to engage somebody with a rifle.
Well, if you watch the video close enough, especially the one that I sent you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I did watch that one.
Captain Fuckface with the blown out elbow decided to fire upon the kid while he was running.
Mm-hmm. So, and as far as I know, he was the only one with a gun in the crowd.
Yeah, it ended great for him.
Yeah. So Kyle takes off running, and I don't know how far he gets, but he ends up getting to a point where he trips and falls. Kyle does.
Yeah.
And they swarm him.
And then scumbag number 2 runs up upon him and starts beating him with a skateboard, which, by the way, is still assault with a deadly fucking weapon.
You can kill somebody with a skateboard.
I don't know why a lot of people don't understand that. Absolutely, Jack, and we will talk about that here after a while, because this is going to be an all time of the fucking night type thing. The skateboard is a deadly weapon. The kid acted in self-defense and shot that bitch in the chest. And yes, I said bitch.
Yeah.
Because if you run up on somebody and start hitting them with a skateboard, you're a bitch.
Which honestly was at a pretty impressive angle because Kyle was still on the ground and he rolled over and you see the barrel, you see the rifle angle up. And then you hear it pop and then Mr. Skate and Die grabs his chest and collapses.
Fucking video game skater die. I know we saw that earlier. All right, and I'm going to say something that's going to piss off both sides, especially ours. To all my Second Amendment people, I love you guys. I really do. To anybody who sticks with freedom, and especially the Second Amendment and the First Amendment, and well, all the amendments really, you get what I'm saying. I love you guys to death, but I'm telling you right now, this kid had more I don't even know how the fuck he was running with a set of brass balls that he was swinging, because he did what you motherfuckers wouldn't. He did exactly what you fuckers wouldn't. He was better trained than every one of you fucking Billy Boogaloo badasses out there with $5,000 worth of fucking gear on that's sitting in your home bitching about the Second Amendment. Yeah. None of you had the motherfucking balls to get your ass up off the fucking couch and do what was right. This kid did. And you are excoriating him for it. That means that you are just as fucking piece of shit as the rest of these sons of bitches that got shot. I'm saying that right now. You go ahead and take over because I'm going to have a fucking coronary.
Yeah. So the skater was multiple convictions of burglary, I believe, or home invasion. Multiple convictions. Okay. So
we have a pedophile and a burglar felon. Okay, go ahead.
So hero, I use that term loosely. Hero number 3 decides to run up and then changes his mind at the last minute. Carrying, I don't know what the handgun was, but he had a handgun.
It was a Glock 19. I took a really good fucking look at it.
So he runs up on him, and as Kyle turns and points, he does the sign for surrender. Gun still in hand, remind you, okay? And as he's looking at Kyle, he lowers that gun, turns to the side so Kyle can't see it, comes a little bit closer, and then he turns and points it right at him.
And misses. Because, by the way, you can hear the shot of a 9mm in the video.
Kyle returns fire. And I want to admit that Kyle showed restraint because I wouldn't have. He shot him once in the arm, nearly blew his goddamn arm off.
Yeah, it's going to be a real bitch masturbating now because that was his dominant hand. Mm-hmm. He's probably going to lose that arm.
Considering he was still holding the gun in that arm, Kyle could have fired another round into his head. But that guy was a convicted felon, which should not have been having a firearm.
Okay, well, let's go back to the skater guy, though. Mm-hmm. Skater guy was no fucking innocent either. He had multiple domestic violence charges on him.
Yeah.
He was also a criminal.
Yeah.
And a convicted one at that.
Yeah, multiple charges.
They made it sound like, again, like the left does, they'll take pictures from a guy when he was 12 years old and be like, see, he was so innocent. He was just a very wonderful guy that liked to go skating and stuff. He was beating a kid on the ground with a skateboard. That is, in fact, assault with a deadly weapon. He got his shit split for that. He got shot in the fucking chest and he died. That was his choice. That was not Kyle's choice. That was his.
Yeah. And like Sean said, listener Sean said, take a truck to the back of your head. Nah. If you don't know what a truck is on a skateboard, that's the kind of like the axles that holds the wheels on. That's made out of metal. You take that to the head, that's going to kill you. So... Listener Sean's like, what's up with these peaceful protests? Dude shot 3 and got 3 criminals. Would he go 5 for 5?
Right. And see, you know what? Let me say something else about this kid. Okay. His training is like I said, far beyond you fucking Billy Boogaloo badasses out there who with $5,000 rifle, with $5,000 worth of gear, think you're a bad motherfucker when you're sitting on your couch.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it over and over again. I don't fucking care. If I'm hurting your feelings, you know where I'm at.
Well, a lot of people have this mentality. Oh, the police will take care of that. The fucking police are overwhelmed. They can't. Shit, they're taking and cementing the police inside their own police station and trying to burn them alive in it. Fuck these people.
Right. And we'll get to that. We'll get to that. What the Antifa-tards and the Black Lives Matter actually stand for here in just a minute. We'll get to that. But right now we're going to talk about these three heads of cabbage.
So, Mr. soon-to-be one-armed.
Yeah. I'm left-handed, so I can jerk off left-handed. By the way, I'm actually ambidextrous, so I can do it with either hand.
I was just getting ready to say he's going to have to learn to be ambidextrous. He's going to have to get that robo arm.
I knew where you were going with this, damn it, but you know what?
So, what does Mr. One-Arm Scream call the cops? Motherfuckers that are wanting to defund the police
are the ones calling the
cops. Seriously?
You can't make this shit up, people. It really does happen.
It's like, are you for real? You got what you deserved.
By the way, on a side note, I probably should have ate something before I started drinking.
Yeah, you probably should have.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm not, I'm not lit up or anything else like that. It was just a joke. So, it's not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
But what if I want to?
That's for off air, and you can't say that on air. People get sensitive about that. You can't touch pee-pee. It was my anniversary yesterday. We're not supposed to say shit like this.
Ho-Ho's response to your comment. I almost died laughing. I was at work when I seen that.
Dude, I was rolling, okay? My friends are assholes. They really are. And especially my partner in crime who owns half of Weaponized Sloth Productions. Go ahead and say what he said.
How did he word that? He worded a happy, 15-year anniversary to your left hand?
14-year.
14-year anniversary to your left hand.
Yeah, we're going off on a tangent, but I've actually been with my wife for more than 21 years.
Rock on.
I actually have been. We've been together since roughly 1998, 99.
Mm-hmm.
We got married in 2006.
Anymore, that's almost like a rarity anymore for people staying together so long.
Yeah, usually after 5 years they're done.
Yeah.
We've had our ups and downs, and we split up for a year.
Well, everybody has
we did. We literally did split up for a year. And the funny thing is neither one of us went to go find somebody else. I spent my time working and doing my hobbies just like I do. No, I didn't change it. There was no fucking variation in my life.
Yeah.
Jack, you said Instagram. Give me a moment. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, so, back to what we were talking about as we reel it back in. Calling for the police to come help save me because I got shot assaulting somebody with a rifle because I thought it was a good idea. I do seriously think that they thought that they were going to respawn at some point. I mean, you had a guy with a Molotov cocktail and a skateboard versus somebody with a rifle. Did you really think you were going to win that? Because everybody else in their right mind were staying the fuck away from him.
I'm trying to check Instagram. I'm not seeing anything on Instagram, dude. Go ahead. Just keep going.
So,
and by the way, it's like hotter than a horn.
I know it's starting to get hotter than balls in here. So, I guess the National Guard. What? Listener Sean says a gold shiny coin floating in the air. Oh, I got you. I'm following you. I got you now. So apparently there were peaceful protests last night.
Hey, Yes, Jack, that's my name, and I don't honestly see it. Keep going. I'm going to try and figure this out for him.
All right. Yeah, I got you, Sean, like a respawn. And honestly, I think that's probably what they were thinking, that it wasn't for real, or they were under that false security that he wasn't going to pull the trigger. You know, we'll be able to beat the shit out of him or possibly kill him and take what we want off his body. That's more than likely what the thought process was. Because, you know, it's all about taking shit when you're protesting.
Well, let's put it this way, okay? And I'm going to put it to you as lightly as possible. Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Somebody told me the other night that, well, yeah, protecting yourself is fine, but protecting your property, I mean, you got insurance. Okay, let's say you're a business owner. Let's say you spent your entire life savings, maybe even your wife's life savings, you know, pursuing your dream. Are you, insurance or not, are you going to let somebody just, you know, be like, oh, I got insurance, fuck it, burn it? Do you want to rebuild? Do you want to lose everything you've worked for? Absolutely fucking not.
I mean, let's really look at insurance. Does insurance really want to pay for anything?
Does it pay for memories? Does it pay for the money that you've put into it and all the hard work and everything else like that? I have literally sacrificed body parts. I mean, Matt knows I've done that literally because his car was one of them. I've sacrificed body parts and sheer and unimaginable pain for my craft, for what I do, for what I love. Do you think I'm going to let you burn it down? Do you think I'm going to let you throw a fucking Molotov cocktail at my business? I'm going to split your fucking wig.
And here's another thought process, because it's the same thing that I do with my job, okay? We protect personnel and property because there's $800 million plus worth of property on site. So if you are a gun owner, are you going to allow somebody to come in and take your gun and then use it on somebody else? Do you really want that? Do you want that on your conscience?
No, see, that's the thing that I try to tell everybody else. And you'd be surprised how many people don't understand this. Not one single gun owner ever wants to be in that position to take another human life. Mm-hmm. They do not ever want to have to unholster their weapon. In my entire life of my 39 years on this fucking earth, which of course, you know, I'm using that as an example. I'm 39 years old. I have only unholstered my weapon one fucking time. And I actually was more mad at the guy with the fact that I had to unholster my weapon than what he was doing. Mm-hmm. I was that pissed because I don't ever want to be in that position to ever have to take a human life. And these people put a 17-year-old kid in that position.
In that position, yeah. Listener Sean says, here's another factor. Adrenaline and fear combined with pain from being clocked over the head with a skateboard. Your fight or flight instinct will dominate and major muscle memory skills will take over. So hip fire a rifle at short range is taking out fleshy soft parts. So for Kyle's sake, he lives the next day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because that's everybody has that instinct. You either fight or you run.
Jack, I know, and I'm gonna read your comment because, like I said, tonight I'm gonna piss off everybody, and I just don't give a fuck. Jack says you're acting like the two he killed were of worth. Every human's life does have worth. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna say it's kind of coincidental that the law-abiding citizens, which is our side, are the ones that don't want to be in this position. These cockroaches come out of the woodwork are all felons and they're burning shit down. And you know what my theory with that was? I told you that earlier. Because they have a criminal record.
Well, they're forcing us into that position. Mark my words. This isn't the first time this is going to happen.
And this won't be the last.
People have had enough with this shit.
Let's talk about that later. Let's keep on task. Because Because we got a break coming up. I mean, we were already way the fuck past it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I totally lost my thought process.
I fucked him up. Well, how about this? I'll tell you what. I said I was going to piss off both sides, and I'm honestly okay with it. I'm okay with pissing people off. You know why? First Amendment.
Yeah.
And the fact that, I don't care. Some people need to be woke up. Some people need to understand where we're coming from. And like I said, over and over and over again already, the Billy Boogaloo badasses out there, with a $5,000 kit, you guys are excoriating this kid because he's 17 years old. And I've seen people making fun of what he was carrying. Like, well, guess what? It fucking worked.
It did the job.
It did exactly what it was supposed to do.
If you're making fun of it, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we need to get a scope.
Oh, I thought you were going to say we need to get a horse.
I have a horse.
Yeah, I know we need a scope.
Because we got one that's been unfired.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Did I say I own firearms?
Now.
I shouldn't say that on air.
I own firearms.
I own nothing. They were all lost in a tornado.
I don't have
They're at the bottom of the
anything.
lake. Guns are icky. I don't understand them. I'm scared of them.
Now, here's the thing that's going to happen, and we really need to step up for Kyle's sake, because a lot of people are too scared to stand up against the BLM and Antifa. So they're going to try to make an example out of Kyle, out of this 17-year-old kid. No, we should not let that happen. We need to stand by his side and make sure he gets pulled out of the flames. Or maybe we need to pull him out of the flames.
Absolutely. And let's say that again. By the way, these shirts were made just for this broadcast. They absolutely were. But if you do want one, I can make you one, and I will sell you one. And here's the thing. When I do make one and I sell it, the only money I will accrue myself is for the absolute price of the materials and the shipping. The rest of the money I will gladly send to Kyle Rittenhouse himself. This is not about the money for me. Trust me, politically, I could make so many fucking shirts right now and make a killing. I'm not doing that. I'm doing it because it's right.
Yeah, and that's my thing is I'm not going to watch this kid burn.
No. And no jury should either.
Yeah.
But
you got somebody mentioned they want one.
All right, we'll do that.
I had a thought here.
Hey, Jack, I might look that song up, but right now we're going to have to deal with another song.
But yeah, definitely get out there and support him.
Support him and
I made a comment.
Go ahead.
On a group that I'm part of. Hey! Oh, you're not going to answer it?
Son of a bitch. Okay, the rule is if I'm on air, I have to answer it while I'm on air. Yeah, it's going to be a little warm because of the pilots. All right. Well, when I get home, I'll shut it off completely. Okay. No, that's actually normal, but we will. Yeah, I'll take care of that. But right now, I'm not even on break. I'm literally on the air right now. Okay. Bye. That was my wife. We moved into a new place. It's not great. Let's keep going.
No, I was going to say is I'm part of a group on social media page, and I asked a simple question because they had posted something about it, asking if Kyle was it justified, and I was like, hands down justified. And then my next comment was, so when do the Patriots and the veterans get to come out and play? asking for a friend.
The Patriots and the veterans are the ones that aren't coming out to play, and that's the problem. A 17-year-old kid did.
We're at a point where it's boiling over. I firmly believe it's time to stop it.
You know, and I'm gonna say this out loud. Sometimes standing for what you believe means standing alone.
Yeah.
I've done that on multiple occasions. You know, Matt's been with me for years now.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely years. And, you know, I really don't talk about myself. Matt knows that. You know, we've mentioned stuff before.
Yeah.
The stuff that I've done for other people, and specifically with my speeches and stuff like that, I'm not doing it for praise. You see me produce this show. You see me produce, the speeches and stuff like that, but you never see me say, "Hey, look at me, I've done this." That's not what it's for, and that's exactly what this kid did. And I'm not saying I'm the same caliber because this kid's a bad motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it right now. But I am not one of those to stand by idly either. You either fucking do what you say, or you get the fuck out of my way. And that includes the Boogaloo Boys. That includes the Second Amendment crew. That includes the Antifa-tards. All of you. If you can't stand by what you say, don't fucking say it.
You know, and I applaud all the people that have been running Antifa out of their towns, and it's mostly small towns that this happens in. Well, now it's time to run the BLM out of the towns. It's not what it used to be.
And we will talk about that after break.
And if you have to, force them to the coast, push them into the ocean.
And yep. And anybody listening right now, especially with me and Matt, this song absolutely fucking fits. It does, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right, and we'll be playing the other song later. But that being said, we are going to go on break, and we'll be right back.
I'm just a thorn in your side, the disrespect in your
Hey lefties, liberals, and progressives. This is not a safe space. I repeat, this is not a safe space.
If you are one of those squishies who are easily offended, put on your safety pins, pussy hats, and leave this radio station. Or you can free yourself and get educated.
Well, hell yeah! I tried to twist him up, but he wouldn't have it. Hell no. This old boy's wow. We about to have to keep this one.
You are listening to the Machine Radio Show with your hosts, Brandon
and Matt.
Talking about a bunch of hobos with fingers in each other's pooper in a stranger's car with talk radio playing really loud. It's going to be a nice evening.
Okay, shit just got real weird. I think I'm going to need a safe space.
What the? Are those friends of yours, Matt?
Oh, hell no.
Are you sure?
Oh, shut your dumpster and start the show already.
Well, all right, pissy pants. Let's do everything you want to do. And we have returned, and apparently I'm also being bombarded with texts.
Are you?
I'm pissing everybody off today. Seriously, it's like my goal. Go ahead. I know you want to go somewhere with this.
Where are we going to go on with this? Which direction? Do we want to talk about the BLM, or do we want to talk about defunding the police?
Let's talk about all of it.
Okay.
You want to start with defunding the police, though?
Well, defunding the police. There was a remark made by Mr. Biden claiming that the police have become the enemy. Is this the kind of person that you want running our country? Because no shit, this man gets in office, you can probably count on another civil war or even a revolution or some severe civil unrest going on. Because, for one, he's already said he doesn't work for you. Don't forget about that.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Sure.
I'm just wondering, what is the purpose of our government?
What is the purpose of our government?
Yeah, who, just out of curiosity. And I just want to know, because I don't know. I'm average, just an average.
You fucking ho dunk, po dunk, well then there, motherfuckers!
I know nothing. I'm from the Midwest. I'm a serf. So can you tell me what the purpose of the government is and who they work for?
They work for us.
I'm
the
sorry.
People. They work for the people.
I'm sorry. What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
I said they work for the people. We, the people.
One more time.
They work for we, the people.
And you better be fucking reminding them every step of the way.
Yeah. Biden's already commented that he doesn't work for you.
Yeah, but have you seen his website? I mean, we talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. He's already commented that the police have become the enemy. He's already stated that he's going to raise taxes. So everything that Trump's done is going to get reversed and probably skyrocketed.
Doubled. Ironically, the same people that were talking about defunding the police were the ones begging for them.
Oh, they're the ones too that when they're protesting to defund the police, they want the police there to protect them when they're protesting.
Yeah, like when they went to the Sturgis rally.
Yeah, they're lucky. They
were lucky the boys in blue
there.
were there, because there would have been fucking bodies. They'd have been stacking them fuckers up like sandbags.
People would have disappeared at Sturgis if police were not there. People would not have been found until many, many, many years later.
A couple of my buddies were there.
I watched
one
the
of them
video
could
on
actually do the video.
Mm-hmm.
Look to the far left, because when I pound,
yeah.
Look to the far left. The dude with the black hat on and shit. That's a buddy of mine from here. He was standing right there, and he's like, if the cop would have turned his back for a split second, he goes, I'd have fucking beat the guy to death. Absolutely. It's listener Katie says it's basically a more powerful version of Pritzker.
Yeah.
That's what Biden is, yes.
And the only reason why he's picked Harris for his VP is because when he passes away, she'll carry on she'll carry on the motive of the left.
But I thought it was because of her race.
No.
And the fact that she's female.
Has nothing to do with her race. Her views.
Well, isn't he sexist and racist because of his choice? Think about it.
I honestly think.
And by the way, and this is going to piss a lot of people off. And again, we're not politically correct. We're not here for your feelings. Yes, I'm looking directly at the camera this time. We're not here for your feelings. Here's the problem I have with that. He chose her because she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
He chose her because of her ethnicity, which, by the way, is very confusing.
Tell me about it.
Extremely confusing. Because she was the first Indian senator in the United States, and I'm talking Indian as in India. The first Indian senator in the United States, now all of a sudden she's the black Asian. What the fuck are you? Seriously, I want to know, what are you? Because I don't know if you're Asian. I don't know if you're black. I don't know if you're Indian. What are you? Because your mother is Indian and your father's Jamaican, and neither one of them are black. So can you tell me how this works?
Listener Angela says she'll carry on the dipshittery.
Absolutely.
You know, both of them are for, I'm not going to say gun control. They're both for stripping Second Amendment rights. And of course, we all know that when the Second Amendment falls, the rest of them go with it very quickly.
As Ronald Reagan once said, this is the last stand on earth. There is no place for freedom other than here.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that is a bullshit, and I'm talking about my friends that are listening in fucking Europe and stuff like that, you motherfuckers ain't free.
Yeah, you're not.
You think you are. Do you remember little Charlie? Do you remember little Charlie?
Mm-hmm.
He died in the hospital because the police blocked them from removing him to another hospital.
Yep.
Is that free?
That's not freedom.
Do you guys, by any chance, have firearms to protect yourselves?
No.
No.
Your police don't even have firearms.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Running around with a billy club.
That active shooting they had over there a few years back? And the
them
shooter
motherfuckers
points it right at that cop who's on the ground and executes him.
Yeah, here, the cop would have had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
He may not have lived through it. I'm saying that. He may not have lived through it. But that fucking terrorist would have known he was there.
Yep.
He'd have probably gotten shot about 5 or 6 times before that cop fell. And absolutely, yes, she is racially confused, Katie, 100%. And Jack, I still haven't gotten anything from Instagram, so I'm wondering if you found the right person. I'm dead serious. Yeah, that's not helping. It's not there. So your internet's not slow. It's just not coming through.
Yeah.
Try. I'm gonna type this. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move on into the BLM.
How dare you?
The movement is not even.
It's like a baby's arm holding an apple. It's actually the shape of a dick. Go ahead.
It's not what it was meant to. It's not what it was supposed to be. How often do you hear about peaceful protesting now? I have not heard anything.
Never.
So therefore, it's collapsed. And if you go on their website, there is one section on their website that talks about what they are about. Okay. And this section right here is what gets me. It says, we disrupt the Western prescribed nuclear family structure requirement by supporting each other as extended families and villages. In other words, we want to destroy the core values of what is a family. They're wanting to bring forth Marxism, communism.
Can you tell me what's on their website right now?
As far as
what they stand for. Because it sure as hell ain't Black Lives. He said that out loud. He's going to hurt feelings. Dox me, bitch. I don't fucking care.
That part right there that I read, That's about Marxism. That's communism that they're wanting to bring forth.
Yeah.
And
Vladimir, Lenin would be proud, so it'd be Stalin and you know.
There's a manifesto about how to take over the USA.
Absolutely, but you notice I didn't say Putin.
Mm-hmm.
Because Putin is not the U.S. You know, he's not the former Soviet Republic. Are they still communists? Obviously.
Yeah.
Are they the communists of old? No.
No.
But go ahead. He's friends with Putin because he likes Trump. I'm listening. I'm listening to people's thoughts.
Well, the thing is, though, is Putin respects Trump. He never respected Obama. Putin wouldn't even look at Obama when he was in office. If you watch when they were together, he wouldn't even fucking look at the man. He'd had no respect for him.
Yep.
How dare you?
Because Obama was the greatest thing that ever happened to this country. Remember that.
Yeah. Sure.
It's funny how the first black president was in for 8 years and did nothing for race relations except for reverse him to the 1950s. But go ahead.
I mean, look at what the BLM's doing. It's all about destroying property. It's about stealing. It's about putting business owners...
Reparation.
It's putting that, and it's putting business owners in fear. It's making them afraid. BLM has also teamed up with the school districts. So if you have kids that are doing online learning, you really need to pay attention to what they're learning, especially now, because in California, and specifically, I believe, Los Angeles, they're learning about Marxism. They're learning about Antifa. They're learning about BLM.
I'm sorry, say what? Can you say that one more time, please?
They're learning about Marxism, Antifa, and BLM. They're also being taught how America is irredeemable, how it's a horrible place that has committed sins, that the entire system must be burned to the ground to make way for socialist utopia.
Which is actually more along the lines of communism than socialism, but we're not going to get into that right now.
And I mean, I've even told my youngest, I told him, because he's, you know, most kids are doing online learning. If a teacher or somebody starts teaching Black Lives Matter, Antifa, or Marxism, you let me know, because I have no problem knocking a fucking teacher out. I have no problem hitting a principal.
Yeah, we'll be there.
I will put you in your place. And behind the Black Lives Matter actually lies their true motivation. It's destroying American capitalism. That's what it's coming. That's what they're doing.
Let's destroy the one system that allows you to make your own way.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it has nothing to do with genuine concern for George Floyd, through which it started.
No, it does not, and it doesn't have to do with this new guy
or others who they claimed that were unjustly killed. You know, he was only just reaching for a weapon. Why did they kill him? Are you seriously that stupid?
Oh, so you mean like the guy that, the murder suspect that committed suicide?
Yeah.
They're burning Minneapolis, which, by the way, is really close to my family. So you might want to think this through, because if I have to drive 8 hours or more to Minneapolis, it's probably not going to end well. I'm not going to be there to be your fucking friend and hand you plush Obama dolls and dick flavored lattes and shit. I'm going to be there to fuck you up. I'm going to say that, flat out.
Mm-hmm.
Riots and looting break out in Minneapolis after a murder suspect commits suicide. Seriously, this is what fucking happened. The guy committed suicide, and they're burning shit down, saying, "Well, the cops need to be defunded, and it's racist." That's exactly what they're saying and what they're calling for.
It's using any death committed that may have been police involved as an excuse.
They're using any death at all to
go riot,
and
loot, and destroy, and burn down.
Robbing and looting are the same thing, but you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
See, the problem is go to the BLM, go to the Black Lives Matter website. I challenge every one of you listening right now to go to that website and tell me that's a fucking organization you would want to be involved with. All you virtue signaling jackasses out there have no fucking clue what you're producing or what you're for. They are devout communists. They do not care about black lives at all. There's nothing on that website that actually says a black life actually matters.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, when you guys say, you guys hate it, you just hate it. All lives matter. You hate that so much. You're like, well, you can't have all lives matter until black lives matter.
That's fucking racist statement right off the bat.
Absolutely. You're all crazy. Go ahead.
And let's face it, Democrats do not condemn what's going on with the riots. You notice they call it peaceful protesting. You imagine what it's going to be like if Democrats get into office, get into the presidency? This shit's going to explode, and we are going to have to do something.
Let me tell you right now that no doubt, no question, it doesn't matter who gets in office this election cycle, be it Trump or children smoke great Biden. You're going to have riots.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's never going to be the right wingers that are supposed to be the most violent people on fucking earth. It's not going to be us. It's going to be the BLM and Antifa.
Yeah. I mean,
they believe, they produce propaganda and they absolutely believe in everything. They believe it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, BLM is using the murder of George Floyd, the overdose of George Floyd as a Trojan horse for socialism. Overdose? Yeah, it's kind of come out in a toxicology report that he died of fentanyl.
Lots of fentanyl.
Lots of it.
He tried swallowing drugs before he got busted. Didn't work out well for him, did it?
Yeah.
No. This song just fits for them. And the angrier I get, the more I get pissed off. The more pissed I get, the more I think about it. But we're going to take a break.
Okay.
We're going to take a break, and I hope you enjoy the fuck out of this one. We will. If it's that time again to indulge yourself with some new ink, or maybe a body piercing, then Forever Yours Tattoo Studio is the place for you. With 27 years experience in tattoos and body piercing, artist Ricky Johnson has you covered, pun intended. Freehand or custom drawn art, maybe some permanent cosmetics, repair of the half done or faded work you got years ago. Or maybe you need a cover up on that nasty scratcher ink you got in a dusty old basement with a sewing needle. Ricky will take care of you. Forever Yours is located at 209 West Main Cross Street in Taylorville. Stop on in or give them a call at 217-824-2INK. They are open Wednesday through Saturday, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. They are also open 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. every other Tuesday. Forever Yours is a health board certified business using modern sterilizing equipment. Tell them the two nutballs on the Machine Radio Show sent you. Hey, guess what?
We're back.
We're back. And you know, I was thinking about those whole protests. I mean, riots.
Mm-hmm.
Because of riots and not protests.
Right.
I was thinking about that, and I started thinking about the mainstream media and how they portray it. You know, CNN literally used this line. Not fucking kidding. They actually said this. Fiery but mostly peaceful protests.
Seriously?
Yes. They actually use that line. It's fiery, but it's mostly peaceful.
You know who the fuck set those fires?
Millions of dollars in damage, but you know.
It's mostly peaceful.
Yeah. See, the BLM and Antifa are all on the same side, okay? I'm going to say
they're working together.
They're on the same side, and they're producing what you would call anarcho-tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
We are not in the business of being conspirators, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
As in, we don't say that, you know, well, there's a lot of things we don't say, but, you know, you especially like the whole fucking, you know, Twin Towers thing that I said the other day. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, that Godzilla flew down and teabagged King Kong and the South Towers fell.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of shit that a conspirator would say. But what I'm saying now is true, okay? It's terrifying and it's true. Get out and vote because your life depends on it.
It does.
Your life absolutely depends on it. The way things are going right now, this is ugly. This is bad. This is very bad. Matt, I know we were talking about this. Go ahead. I know you were wanting to
Well,
say.
I wanted to put forth that the leaders of BLM, there's three of them. There's Alicia Garza, Patricia Cullors.
Yeah, the one that said this is reparations. Go steal you some Nikes.
Opal Tometi. Okay, back in 2015, they admitted that they were trained Marxists.
I told you the school system was failing.
Mm-hmm. They are trained Marxists.
And by the way, for those of you who don't know what anarcho-tyranny is, it's armed dictatorship without rule of law. Think about that. This is what they want. This is what they're going for. Because they want to keep doing what they're doing without any reprisal. That's it. It is not to do with what they say, racial injustice. They're not talking about systematic racism, anything like that. They're literally talking about wiping out rule of law so they can keep doing what they're doing without any reprisal.
Which,
you can look this up.
Yeah, which if you actually look at that, it's about making black lives better. better than you, they come first.
And by the way, we've watched multiple videos of this, and we've seen people literally go and accost people at outdoor restaurants.
Restaurants, yeah.
Saying if you don't do, and by the way, most of these people are white. If you don't do the fist, if you don't put your hand up in solidarity, we're going to bother you until you do. We're going to force you to do it.
Well, you know, I was telling my youngest one, because we were watching that video where they attacked the young couple in that outdoor restaurant.
Yeah.
Put your hand up. Put your fist up. And I said, and I looked at him. I said, you know what? Doing that is no different than doing that. It's pretty much the same.
And you know, I really do hate the Third Reich and
I know you do.
Hitler analogies and all that stuff, but it's kind of true.
It's one and the same.
I hate it saying that. I really do.
Yeah, and it's because we see what they're trying to incorporate, what they're trying to bring in and change our freedoms, where we will not have any freedoms. They'll be gone.
They only want First Amendment rights for themselves.
Yeah.
They only want Second Amendment rights if it suits them. They only want any of them, especially, like the 14th.
Yeah.
Think about it. This is what we're up against. When I say I am worried about the state of this country and this is a fight for our lives, I'm not joking. Ronald Reagan was absolutely right. This is the last stand on earth. There is no place to go from here. You need to pay attention. You need to educate yourself. You need to understand what's at stake, and you need to fight against it.
Definitely.
You need to stick your head out there. I mean, I got people, we were talking about this before the show. People don't even want to put, a Trump train sticker or anything else like that, or any candidate sticker on their vehicle, because these pieces of shit will come by and trash your vehicle.
But hey, at least you know who they are.
Mm-hmm. See, the difference between us and them is we don't do that sort of thing. By the way, I drive a red Chevy truck with a big or a good, a normal size. I'm gonna say big for the truck, but a 3x5 Trump flag on it. Why? Because I don't give a fuck. Because you are not going to scare me into not supporting the candidate of my choice. It's not going to happen. You can come at me all you want and say, well, you need to support this person and fuck the other guy, and I will beat your ass because you're supporting this other person. I can care less.
I'm going to tell you to bring it.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, referencing the young man from earlier, Mr. Who is that again?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
And what should we do?
We should support him.
Uh-huh.
And keep him from burning in the flames.
Yep. I'm going to reference him because of that. Because, he stood for what he believed in.
Yep.
He did what most of you would never have the balls to do. He protected property. He cleaned up property. He protected his own life.
That in itself should get you motivated. Honestly.
A 17-year-old.
Yeah, a 17-year-old.
Me at 39 years old, people my age, you should all be ashamed for not being able to stand up for what's right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it over and over again. You need to stand up. You need to get out and vote. You need to do what is right before it's too late.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm actually, for the first time in my life, I'm actually terrified for the state of this country. And again, not being a conspirator or being, I'm scared. I'm legitimately scared. I'm legitimately scared as to what is going to happen to this country if people like, and I'm going to say her name wrong just to piss her off, Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or Ocasio fucking Big Tooth Cortez or any of them. I am afraid of what you guys are going to do to actual freedom in this country because you are too ignorant to understand the consequences. You don't understand what socialism is. You definitely do not understand what communism is. And you're pushing it. I mean, all you have to do is look at history. History is not hard to learn. It's out there for you to understand. It's out there for you to learn it and understand it completely. I mean, for fuck's sake, look at Vladimir Lenin. Look at Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Mao Zedong. You know, and you know, and Che Guevara. You know, you guys love that Che Guevara. You didn't realize that he killed all the gays.
Yeah, you didn't realize what he did.
But you buy a T-shirt and you wear it around because you think it's the greatest thing ever. You should be wearing a George Washington T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but he owned slaves, sir. He also wrote the Constitution.
Yep.
Helped write the Constitution, which would eventually abolish slavery.
Yep.
He laid the framework to get rid of it, and he actually found slavery to be slightly repugnant.
I mean, you got to look at it. The country at that point in time couldn't handle two major problems at the same time. They had to separate first and become independent, and then they would deal on slavery, and that's what they did.
Right. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm honestly I feel sad for this country. I feel sad for the people of this country. And I'm not talking about the fucking, you know, Antifa charges and BLM. I'm talking about the normal, average, everyday folk. I'm worried about them. And these idiots, you know, that run around and like, well, the riots are not a big deal. I mean, it's not like they're burning down their home. No, they're fucking doing that too.
No. Yeah.
They burned down an apartment complex the same night that Kyle blasted 3 communists. They burned down an apartment complex with people inside of it.
And it's getting even worse. There are places in other states where there's still rioting going on where BLM is coming to your home to kick your door in, to take what they want, to kill your family, to burn your house down. Is this what you want?
Oh, yeah, they're standing outside putting spotlights in your windows and they're screaming through megaphones and stuff like that, giving you every unrest that they possibly can because they think they're entitled to what you own.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because 250 years ago, people that they weren't even related to were slaves. That's exactly what this comes down to.
Yeah.
But that's just the underlying cause. Then you look at the fact that they love the communist Marxist style system. It's on their own website. It's on their website. It's not hard to understand. Go to the BLM website right now as you're listening to this and look at it. Look at the proposals.
And honestly, when watching video and stuff, granted they're wearing masks, okay, but you can still tell. Look at how old some of these people are. They're all young. They're all brainwashed because some teacher or some professor out there has stated that they don't like this country.
If you don't think that the education system has anything to do with what's going on right now, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Matt and I have dealt with this with his youngest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a teacher, especially in our town, that's lucky. He
still has a job.
Yeah. And I have personally went to District 186, which is Springfield, and said, you will not rewrite the Constitution. I was all over their website. I was all over everything. Coincidentally, the media never come and talk to me. They used my quotes.
Didn't fit their narrative.
No, they used my quotes, but they didn't never use my name. Of course, I don't give a fuck about them using my name, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
But they said, well, this person thinks this. I'm like, no, this person knows this. There's a difference. Because they rewrote the First Amendment, they rewrote the Second Amendment, they rewrote the Third Amendment. They started going down the line and saying, well, this is what it should be, so we're going to change it in our book. And I called them out on it. And I wasn't afraid to. See, that's the problem, is everybody is afraid to show their real face. Everybody's afraid to show their, to display their real name. They're terrified. Yeah. And I understand some people are rightfully so, and I'm not going to argue with that. I am not one of them. I've been doxxed before. If you want to dox me, bitch, I own my own company.
Good luck with that.
I'll tell you what, though. And I'm going to say this loud and clear for all of you who are listening, because I know you're on there, because I can see how many people are listening to us right now. And I know there's Democrats and progressives listening to us because you've told me. If you ever threaten my family, if you ever decide to come after my family, you're going to be met with the resistance of the likes you've never seen. You're not going to be happy about the outcome. If you show up at my place and step foot on my property, it's not going to end well for you. Because I am not afraid of you. I'm sorry, I'm not. I notice I'm looking right the fuck at you, too. Oh, Matt's up to something.
No. There is a lot at stake here. What you were talking about is like...
Speaking of steak, I'm kind of hungry. But go ahead.
You always have to stand up for what you believe in. And sometimes that means that you're going to stand alone. But you have to do it. It's that same concept that, the reason why evil exists in the world is because good men do nothing about it. You have to do something about it. You have to stand up for what you believe in.
I seriously don't understand why people are so afraid.
I don't understand either.
There's more of us than there is of them, people. You got to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm going to say it over and over again. I'm afraid for this country. I'm afraid for freedom. I'm afraid for what's going on.
I firmly believe that the clock is ticking in the last seconds, and we're all going to have to take a side. Just make sure you're on the right one.
Well, and I'm going to tell you this right now. As long as my lungs have breath in them, as long as my heart still beats, I will carry the message. This show will not end. My speeches will not end. I do not fear you. I mean, one of you tried to come out and fucking cause some bullshit at one of my speeches, and I ran your ass off. So, fuck you.
I've seen him active a little bit. It's been coming through my timeline. And that's because somebody I know...
It's cute, isn't it?
Yeah. It's somebody I know is up in Kenosha right now. And most of the rioters that are up there are from our home state.
Now, you got to be careful with that because, because Kyle's from our own state. But what people don't understand is he worked in Kenosha and he was only 20 minutes away from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, there's people, there's that talk where, oh, he come from another state. Well, you know how many rioters are bussed in from other states? Are you paying attention to this?
Right.
Are you paying attention to the color of their skin that are rioting? Most of them are white.
And that's why he mentioned this color of skin. Mm-hmm. So don't be so racist to think of what he's, what you think he's saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it over and over again. By the way, I don't care what color of skin you are. You're all equally worthless to me.
I'll slap the taste out your mouth.
I seriously don't care. I don't care if you're white, black, Asian, Mexican, whatever. You're all equally worthless to me. Because if you support any of this, there's something wrong with you.
I would say you're probably brainwashed. Because that's how they're reaching the young people that are involved in this, is through the school system. That's why we've always stressed about paying attention to what your kids are learning in school.
I mean, there's certain states right now that are doing online learning, and they're prohibiting the parents from listening in.
I know. Yeah, I've even seen where they forced the parents to sign a waiver saying that they would not listen in, and that's bullshit. I'm sorry, that's my house. That ain't the school. You're in my house.
You're in my time now, motherfucker.
No offense, but I should be getting part of your wage. That's the way I look at it.
But they do the lesson plans and stuff like that. It's still hard for some of these teachers. Are you paying for the notebook? Are you paying for the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's my Wi-Fi, it's my house. Or they, sometimes they're like restricting, like, kids can only use the restrooms at certain times. Fuck you, that's my house. I don't think you get it.
Yeah, if my kid wants to look at the screen and say, I gotta take a piss,
I'll be back.
They can take a piss because, well, they're at home. Hall pass, bitches.
Yep.
By the way, if they want to sit in their fudgies and eat fucking Cheetos while they're doing it, I don't care either.
Yeah, I don't care either. One of the things you got to watch, because you got some of these leftist teachers that are out there that if they see a BB gun or a 22 rifle hanging on a kid's wall, they're going to turn you in because it's happened. And it's yet again, this is my fucking house. You can piss off.
Absolutely. Oh, somebody's saying something. Hold on.
Yeah, listener Mike was like, seriously? Yeah.
Yes.
Seriously.
Yes, they are actually listening. They parents have to sign waivers. They cannot listen in to lesson plans or nothing like that. And they were talking about especially history.
Yeah, and a lot of that were...
They cited history.
They were Democratic teachers. They were leftist teachers that were wanting this because they were afraid that, the parents would get involved. Well, you damn right I'm going to get involved if you're teaching lies.
There's teachers right now that's that are they're promoting the DNC and saying how great it was, but they're not mentioning anything about the RNC, which is biasing, which is not in a teacher's I guess code of ethics.
Mm-hmm.
But it's happening, and it's happening all over the country.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. And speaking about the Democrats, so I've made a slight comparison between the BLM and the KKK. They're basically the same thing. They both wear masks to cover their faces. They're both burning down places, and they're both attacking people that don't fit their agenda. They are the new KKK. In my opinion, they are
the same.
Yeah. Well, they're also backed by the Democrats.
By the way, before we go, because we are actually running over time.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic that a white supremacist who runs a white supremacist organization is now backing Biden?
Backing Biden, exactly. Isn't it ironic?
Isn't it irony that the party of racism is being backed by a real racist?
Mm-hmm. It's because the whole Democratic Party have this illusion that Trump is racist.
Right, Katie, and I wouldn't expect you to either. She says, thank God we didn't have to sign anything like that here because I wouldn't be signing it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have signed it either, honestly. I would have told them where exactly to go.
Yeah, the second that they can actually walk into the school, one of the Matt's kids is going to walk in with a Trump shirt just for the hell of it. It's actually going to happen because the teacher's against Trump.
Now, the cool thing is Grunt Style has recently come out with a kids' line of clothing.
Oh, really? They have?
Yes, they have come out with a line of clothing for children.
Why? Tell me more.
They have the American Spartan. I can't remember all of the shirts that they've got. They've just started it, so they only have like a handful of shirts that kids can wear, and it's got the Grunt Style logo on it, on the sleeve. So my youngest is actually pretty excited for that because he's wanting a few of the short shirts, which he's getting to that age where he's kind of getting into the men's clothing line, so he can actually get the other stuff that's out there as well.
Can we send him to school with "This is my killing" shirt on?
I have seriously thought about it. I like the.
We're gonna get his kid kicked out of school. I think.
I like the Care Bear one they got. It's called "I Don't Give a Fuck Care Bear."
Why do I see problems ahead? Do you think I should send him to school with a Dilgaff shirt? Because the teacher would be like, "What does Dilgaff mean?" I'm just picturing your son go, "Do I look like I give a fuck about your feelings?" But that being said, I do believe I believe we're done.
I think we are done. We've had our rant for this week.
And even though I said I was going to be angry, I was actually relatively calm. You don't want to really see me angry. It gets ugly.
Listener Angela said she used to have the throat punch shirt. That's a good one too. They've got a few of them that I
well,
really
I had
love.
a few of them, and you know, one day you showed up with one. I'm like, I got you first.
Yeah.
But anyhow, that being said, we are out of here for the night, I think.
Yeah. Guys, just some things to set as a goal. Support Kyle Rittenhouse. Don't let him burn.
Free Kyle.
Free Kyle. Vote. Get out and vote this year. Your life does depend on this. And
liberty and tyranny.
Let's stop the socialism and communism that's trying to be forced into this country.
And if you don't believe this is happening, go to the Antifa and BLM websites and enjoy.
Yeah.
Because it's happening.
Yeah. And pay attention to what your kids are learning online with the e-learning, because it's all about teaching them not to think America is horrible, and it can't be. It's got to be destroyed and rebuilt.
Yep.
So, and stay vigilant out there and stay safe, guys. Yep. Seriously.
And we're out of here.
Yep. Love you guys. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
Sentence and